Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the beautiful Chicago Style Podcast. I'm your favorite host, Brian Jurgens, along with Murph and the Magic Tones. He's right over there. Usually it's Becca sitting over there, but it's Murph today because of his luxurious beard and great personality. And he has beautiful blue eyes. They call him Blue Velvet. Have you ever been called Blue Velvet, Murph?
I believe this would be the first time, but I'll take it.
Well, I was going to say you've been called a lot better than Blue Velvet. I'm sure of that. But like I said, this is the Chicago Style Podcast. And by the way, it's finally a great venue for hilarious hijinks, Chicago events, personalities, restaurants, movies, music, with all the positive content to uplift your day with your two favorite hosts, who I already covered. And I would like to say it is a wonderful day, and we are going to uplift your day with some great news about what just happened in Chicago, which is the Chicago Air Show, right? That was a crazy event.
I actually missed it. Tell me more about it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, Murph, I heard it has a lot to do with water and air, the Air and Water Show. So what you do is in the water in Chicago, you usually use a boat. Unless you plan on not coming back, then you jump into Montrose Harbor and you're never seen again until they fish you out with the Popio fishermen. But that being said, the Thunderbirds were the entertainment this year, which is the high-powered Air Force team of F-16s, I think. And that was amazing, man. And I was a jet mechanic in the Marine Corps. So what I did was chase beer and drink girls. Wait a minute. Let me say that again. I drank beer and chased girls. And occasionally I fixed planes. That was in Washington, D.C. on Andrews Air Force Base. On the one side, because I was in the Marines, I wasn't in the Air Force. But I got to fix F-4 Phantoms, airframes and power plants mechanic. And I know you did something like that.
Nice.
Or not at all.
No,
not
really,
at all.
You know,
so
I played with airplanes, jets.
Well,
you were saying something. Did they replace the Blue Angels?
Why don't they replace the Blue Angels? You can't really replace the Blue Angels,
True.
but the Thunderbirds, they seem to alternate. Don't you think that, GC? Don't they alternate like the Blue Angels with the Thunderbirds and the Thunderbirds with right? They give them turns.
Okay,
right?
That makes sense.
They don't want to show favoritism to the Blue Angels, but so it sounds like the Blue Angels are the honchos on this, but the Thunderbirds lost their minds. They were flying all over, of course, like they're supposed to, but I guess they blew out a bunch of windows on some high-rises, right?
Really?
Well, I mean, the real way.
Right.
Yeah, right. I mean, they came with what's it called? A sonic boom.
Yes.
Right, and not the little guy, the blue guy with the sneakers who runs everywhere. Not him, but a sonic boom. Hedgehog. No, not the hedgehog. But the actual Air Force Thunderbirds, and they were magnificent over the water, entertaining the crowds and just doing some death-defying, crazy flying. It was amazing, man.
Nice.
It really was. And then down below is the water show on the water, which is in the lake, which we already talked about. We seem to have a problem talking about the lake or the river, or at least I do, right? I can't understand the combination with the locks and all that. But the boats get out there, and they've got little guys who they go along on the jet skis, and then they have some special boats, right? And
Sure.
have you ever seen
It's
Lake
been
Michigan before?
I've seen Lake Michigan a couple times, but it's been a little bit.
Right.
You know, it's been a while since I've actually been down there to check it out.
It's such a large lake.
Sure.
It's bigger than most states. People don't know that. If you're from Poughkeepsie, you know, or you're from down the street, like in down in Beaufort, you know, you don't realize that Lake Michigan is this monstrous inland sea, you know. And I mean, you know, they dragged. I don't know if you've ever been to the museums, like the Museum of Science and Industry, but they dragged a what's it called? A U-boat. A U-boat captain. You know, they will come aboard. Is that my German accent? I don't know. Well, all is good, my friend. Open the locks so we can come in and invade Chicago. At the beautiful Museum of Science and Industry, they do have a U-505, which they dragged across Lakeshore Drive. And anybody who's done a lot of fun things in Chicago has been dragged across Lakeshore Drive before, as well as the U-505. I've been dragged across Lakeshore Drive on occasion. I'm sure you
like
have.
To call it the LSD. I've been dragged across
LSD, Lakeshore Drive.
Twice.
Yeah, sure. Who hasn't? You know, it depends on if you're in the good suburbs where they have plenty of LSD. But the road doesn't seem to lead out there, does it?
No.
No, just the weird little highways. Now you're located sometimes in not that we're getting away from the air show,
Nope.
but you can fly from the air show out to Manuka, where
Right.
you're from, right?
Yes, we do.
Now,
Morris has a municipal airport.
Morris is a cat.
No, Morris is the next town over.
Oh, I thought that was a
Yes.
little orange cat who did the meow 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 meow
You know
meow
what?
meow meow. Right?
I think you're right.
Didn't
That
he?
was Morris.
Remember? And I used to do this to my ex. I just go, here, this is for you. Right? That's the little litter box, and that's fun. It doesn't really make the relationship last long, but that's all right because girls like cats. Don't you think girls like cats?
I do. I know a lot of cat girls.
Or
cat
cat woman.
Cat ladies.
Cat ladies.
Cat
That's
ladies.
right. Sure.
Yes.
Right. Cat scratch fever. Is that Todd
That would be
Todd Rundgren? No,
No,
not him. Who is the guy that did cat scratch fever?
Cat. Right at tip my tongue.
Oh,
it is.
Don't use that, bro.
Right?
GC, do you know? I don't know. Right. None of us know who did cat scratch fever. Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent.
So not Todd. Ted.
Not Todd.
But that's
Ted
close.
Nugent.
Todd,
Yeah.
Ted. It's a T.
Right.
There's a T involved, right? And it's from a while ago.
Yep.
And so cat scratch fever was prevalent in Morris. Yeah, is that him? Yeah, wait.
No,
Was
cat
that-
scratch fever.
Oh, so that's the guitar. I was like, that's not a cat. You can't do meow, meow, meow. You can go meow, meow, meow. Either way, that sounds great. But the Air Force Thunderbirds were wonderful. They had an amazing show. And that's an annual show, by the way. Every year here in Chicago, they have this thing where they fly around called the Air and Water Show. That's right. And it coincided this year with the Chicago Cubs game. And one of the pilots lost their little minds and decided to fly right over the Cubs game and scared the bejesus out of everybody. And I guess they're no longer authorized to not call the Ricketts family and go, hey, we're going to buzz the tower. Hope you don't mind.
It would be scary.
I guess it scared a lot of people, which is fine. I mean, it's not Halloween. Right. My ex used to call me on occasion and say, what are you doing for Halloween? I said, I don't know. What are you doing for Halloween? Nothing. Why don't you come by my house, sit in the window? You can scare all the kids on my block.
Boom.
And I can't believe it. We're
Yeah.
not together anymore, but that's
Nice.
all right. But the Cubs are trying to pick it up, not from the Air Force Thunderbirds, but they're trying to maybe get to the playoffs, claw their way there, and we'll see if that happens. They had a hot spring, a hot summer. And now it's kind of August, and they're kind of doing their August swoon, maybe. But I am a Cubs fan. I don't know if you are a Cubs fan, Murph. Maybe, perhaps.
I'm a Chicago fan.
You're a Chicago fan, right?
I appreciate all the sports teams.
Ooh, like eating pizza.
I put something in the ground years ago.
Yes.
I decided I'm going to watch people play with musical instruments over watching people play with
Ah,
balls.
right. So like Lollapalooza is a great,
Correct.
and we just had Lollapalooza, which
Mhm.
was a lot of fun. They didn't seem to have all the big name artists,
I think every year it kind of gets up and down,
right, up and down. Sabrina
Yeah.
Carter, your favorite for sure.
Well,
Maybe not. Yeah. Ted Nugent is
A
like,
little.
did you really mention me on the same podcast with Sabrina Carter? But she seems to be a very popular, very tiny person.
And that's what they need. They
need tiny people.
to get in there, get the youth going.
Ooh,
because
that's the youth.
We've been seeing Lollapalooza since the 90s, right?
Right,
Just
sure.
New Lollapaloozas for the new kids. Get them out there.
You want people to show up in the middle of Grant Park and swim around in the mud for hours, and you pay pay a pretty penny to get out in that mud. You get different bracelets, right?
Okay.
So you can get the good bracelet, or you can get the medium bracelet that kind of gets you and a buddy in, or you can get the bracelet that gets you beer and you go sit in the VIP. Where is the VIP at Lollapalooza?
It's usually against the back wall, closest to the lake.
Closest
That's
to
kind
the,
of,
that is the VIP over by LSD, which we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Lakeshore Drive.
I think one of my favorite things about Lollapalooza is you can find certain spots at the show and stand and hear 3 different bands at the same time.
I don't know if my ears are talented enough to do
Right?
that. Jerry Ford, the former president of the United States, couldn't chew gum and walk at the same time. I'm sure that Brian Jurgens cannot listen to 3 bands at the same time.
Right. So you could maybe listen to 2 and watch 1.
Ooh.
Right?
Listen to 2.
Listen to 2
and watch one. That's math.
Mhm.
And in the words of Chevy Chase, I was told there'd be no math. But yet again, a surprise topic here on the on the Chicago Style podcast, which is fantastic. But we're not going to discuss math today.
No, that's. I think that's a future.
That's future.
Yeah.
We'll add that up later.
Chicago
that
math.
doesn't add up in a Chicago
There's
math.
Chicago style math out there.
Chicago style math.
And we'll crack it.
Well, if you say so, sir. But become famous. That being said, the Piven Theater Workshop is where I think John and Joan, who's a great actress and a great person, they would visit me on occasion at the Coronet, which was right down the street from the main cafe. So if I ever needed a sandwich or something, and around the corner from Lincoln Elementary School, where we all went to school. And we ended up going to Evanston Township High School. And not that we were educated in any way, shape, or form, but they became famous actors. And I went on to the Marine Corps, where I fixed fighter jets, which we talked about earlier, which is leading back to the air show. But Murph, I'm sure you've met some famous people in your time.
You know, working on TV shows and film, you do have a tendency to run into a lot of people, but I can't really say that like I've bonded with anybody or met anybody, but all the experiences I've had on set were pretty amazing.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think the room we're sitting in right now, there was a different kind of a podcast, or this is kind of used as a green room when there's other things going on here at CineCity. And I think I saw the guy from Karate Kid was sitting in here the other day.
Martin Cove.
What's his name?
Martin Cove.
Martin Cove. Now, he's the guy who said, sweep the leg. You have a problem with that?
Exactly.
And he's like,
so
no, sensei.
So technically that was the last actor that I saw. But I'm not
so
sure
you
if Martin
actually did meet an actor.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's from Chicago, though.
Oh, we're only talking about Chicago actors.
Chicago style.
Right. Well, I think technically the instant you're in Chicago, you're from Chicago, just in a prepositional sense. So you're going to, around, over, underneath. Those are all prepositions.
That is very true.
I did learn something in school. Look at that.
Yes.
And those prepositional phrases, ladies and gentlemen, mean that Robert Cove, is that his name? Martin. Sorry, Martin.
It's all right.
Wow, he is going to sweep my leg.
Right.
And I do have a problem with that. But, you know, that's when, was that Ralph Macchio?
Yes.
And he's doing the grasshopper.
The crane. The crane.
Are you?
That was my favorite movie growing up.
Oh,
The Karate Kid.
The Karate Kid. I just was I was wondering if you were perhaps trained in the martial arts because you recognized my crane style.
No.
So is this maybe praying mantis? I don't know any.
I think that would be praying mantis.
So and if there are any cranes out there, we want to apologize to them right away.
No offense.
No offense. Can you offend a crane?
Well, yeah, that's how they got the move.
Oh, I'm so offended.
Right.
And we all know not to offend a praying mantis because the last thing praying mantises do is pray. Right. They don't care. They just eat your face off. Right.
Whole head.
Haven't you seen that? Haven't you seen like some terrible videos of, not that this happens in Chicago, and I know this is Chicago style, but I've seen a praying mantis or two crawling around Oak Brook, believe me, doing just that, right outside of Nordstrom Rack, by the way. And I apologize to Nordstrom Rack for the people who for the upper people who like to go to regular Nordstroms, and they don't want to be bothered with Nordstrom Rack.
No offense, Nordstrom Rack.
No, if we've been saying no offense a lot today.
Allegedly.
It's that allegedly from Talladega Nights. Hi, Mr. Dennett. You know, with all due respect, as soon as somebody says with all due respect or no offense, you know they mean both.
Right. My favorite is like, listen, I'm not a liar.
Listen, Linda.
And then you know right away they're going to tell you a lie.
Oh, no, wait. That is a new saying. What is this saying that has entered the American English lexicon of, hey, dude, I'm not going to lie. Why do you normally lie?
Exactly.
Yeah, what is that? Hey, dude, I'm not going to lie, but yes, she was hot. I'm not going to lie. Hey, dude, I'm not going to lie, but that steak was great.
And then they say, that's sus.
It's so sus. Right. That is sus. I don't want to swing in my chair, by the way. I've been warned of swinging in my chair.
That's all right. Swing, baby.
Well, you're a swing, baby. You know, remember Forrest Gump was famous for saying, I started moving my hips. Right. And so I don't want to move my hips too much. Because I don't have any hips. I'm not Shakira, and my hips do lie.
B is because your hips don't lie.
My hips don't lie, but are my hips sus? Yes. Actually, nobody cares about my hips anymore because I'm 750 years old. Those are all dog years, by the way, though. Right, and then those are good years, right? Everybody loves a dog. Not everybody loves Brian, right? Hey, Brian,
they will.
They will.
Once they keep watching the Chicago Style podcast.
Hey, the Chicago Style podcast. You're going to have to love Murph and Brian in the morning, or perhaps it's the afternoon.
Yeah, whatever time you're watching.
Are we doing a small infringement there? Because there was a Murph in the morning here in Chicago, right?
Yeah, but
he's dead.
Right? I don't think there's
think there's
a trademark. And I'm not wearing a
trademark.
I'm not wearing a.
What are you wearing?
What was it?
Is this the normal gnome gear that gnomes wear? I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely what I like about this. This is a button up. But there's no collar.
I didn't know that beard lifted up like that.
Uh-huh.
Wow. What's the movie? I have seen nothing. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
There we go.
How could you not know? Co-starring it. I would think, no, I'm definitely not in Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? Because I have no siblings. So if I said, Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? I'd hear this. Crickets, because there are no brothers where art thou for me. No. Although I do seem to have a perhaps half sibling in Bremen, Germany. Because that's where my dad lives, right? Y'all. He lives in Bremen. Oh,
we're gonna be on location in Germany.
That's right, because we're gonna have to go to court to the Familiengericht, which is German for saying family court.
Okay,
isn't that right, Dad?
We'll do our German style podcast.
And speaking of Dad, cha-ching. That's right. That's how we do it in Chicago, the Chicago way. Do send one of theirs to the hospital.
Money in an envelope.
Money in an envelope, which is important, right?
Definitely.
For you and for me, and it rhymes, for you and for me and GC.
Boom.
That's right, Giancarlo. Right, and we don't get a last name with Giancarlo, by the way, because he's in the witness protection program. He's behind. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. The great and powerful GC is producing the show. Are you producing? You're engineering the show. Now, what does that mean? There's producers in Chicago style producers,
correct,
Chicago style engineers, and Chicago style editors.
Yes.
But we did ask GC, and he seems to know how to do all three.
That's right.
That's right. Now, if you do know how to do all three, why the hell would I hire the two others? Because I think I'm getting a discount if you just kind of shove it all in together. I hope you take. By the way, GC, I hope you take a check. He's like, this is a cash only business, my friend. I hope you understand. I mean, honestly, I've known you 30 years. You've never even stopped by for a cup of coffee. But you were worried that I'd produce and direct and engineer and edit, and you didn't want to get into trouble. Well, right, and that could cause some.
That's what I was thinking.
Now, Murph, you kind of do a little bit of that yourself,
yeah,
don't you?
My thing about editing is, I don't like it.
Who's Ed? Editing.
Editing. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Editing is something that.
Say that 3 times fast. Editing.
If I have to do it, I will do it.
Ooh.
And I wish I loved to
is that
do
a
it.
Threat?
It's definitely not a threat.
It's definitely. Oh, wow, you covered that up. Right. If I have to do it, I will.
I will.
That's right.
I will.
You sound like Liam Neeson
and
right
I
now.
will be the best editor that I can be.
Ooh.
But
I have a particular set of skills.
I'd just rather not edit.
Right. I'd rather not edit.
Yeah.
Right. Who wants to work? It's a holiday. No. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here and do the Chicago Style podcast. I want to bang on the drum all day. Right. Is that
That's Todd Rundgren.
Now that's Todd Rundgren.
Boom.
So now we have sewn the circle, right? The circle of trust.
Yes. Yep.
Are you in the circle of trust? Are you in the circle of trust?
Todd Rundgren is?
I'm not sure. Poor Ben Stiller's like, I just, and I met Ben Stiller one night at my place of work, by the way. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I was sitting there with Sandra Bullock having a cigar with Bern Troyer, Mini-Me, allegedly.
See,
I have to say allegedly,
you can
apparently.
Say that's my job.
I don't think Bern's going to mind because Mini-Me's gone.
Yeah.
Poor guy, but he was great.
If you tell the story.
One beer, he was hammered because the beer was this tall.
Nice.
Right. We used to go to Hunt Club, and he had this special move.
Yeah,
he could kip up onto the urinal. Because, listen, he's wandering around your legs like a raccoon. He's just down. People are like, whoa, but it's a bar. You let him in. But Vern wasn't a midget. Vern was a tiny person.
Okay.
So he played babies. So,
Allegedly,
before he was Mini-Me in Austin Powers, baby. Now, that was a bad Austin Powers. That wasn't good.
I don't think.
Can you do an Austin Powers?
No, I don't think anyone really does a good one anymore.
No, right.
It's just been done for so long.
Oh, it's been done for so long. We've had enough. Right. But Austin Powers never filmed in Chicago, I don't think. And he's not a Chicago comedian. May have been to Second City a few times.
He's Canadian.
He's Canadian.
He's a Canadian.
He's from the Great White North.
Yes.
is that Geddy Lee? Yeah, from
Geddy Lee's also.
Wake up on the Great White North. I'm doing no good impersonations today.
Hey,
Geddy Lee.
I like him.
Was in a wonderful band called, for you kids out there who don't know, a great band called Rush.
Yes.
And they were called the Holy Trinity, and they were from Canada.
Yep.
That's right. And Geddy Lee is the lead singer. And that's when I fell in love with rock and roll. Probably Moving Pictures. A great, right? They had Tom Sawyer. Today's Tom Sawyer, he gets high on you. Right? Something like that.
The Spacey Invades.
Oh, the Spacey Invades, he gets by on you.
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't want anybody getting by on me, pal. Not in Chicago.
Especially not Tom Sawyer.
Well, Mark Twain.
Yes.
Also known as Sam Clemens.
That's right.
Or
as I know him, Samuel.
Samuel. Well, I say Sam just because, he owes me $5.
I hope so.
I'm like, hey, Sam. Yeah, well, he eventually,
The interest on that's got to be amazing.
Well, he's doing quite well. I've heard Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer have sold a couple copies here and there.
Nice.
That was the beginning of real American literature. Don't you feel?
I do. Yeah,
I do.
I agree.
When you're not reading Bazooka Joe,
right?
Right? Sure. It's for you kids that don't know, that was called gum, and it was harder than Chinese arithmetic. Ooh, I shouldn't have said that. But it was Bazooka Joe was this hard.
That was just a Tom Waits lyric.
A Tom Waits lyric.
That's all you were saying.
So we've named all these discriminant musicians and singers today with Todd Rundgren.
Right. Oh yeah.
Tom Waits.
Ted Nugent.
Right.
And let's throw in Tori Amos.
I don't know why. Sure, Tori Amos.
Starts with a T.
None of these people are from Chicago. No. So why don't we name some Chicago musicians?
All right, Liz Phair.
Yeah,
one of my favorites from the 90s.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know Liz Phair was from Chicago.
Yeah.
And Buddy Guy, who ordered me out of his parking spot, by the way.
Nice.
720 South Michigan Avenue. If you go behind 720 South Michigan Avenue, there is a bar called Buddy Guy's Legends, where they play a lot of blues. And one day I had to run into the hotel, which is 720 South Michigan Avenue, the Chicago Hilton and Towers. By the way, stay there for the great brunch in the Normandy Lounge. Allegedly, that's right. Well, the Mr. Hilton was a great man. Paris Hilton, I have another story about her when she was dating Brian Urlacher, and I'm Brian Jurgens, so you know where that led to.
Allegedly,
that's right, allegedly. I asked Paris one day, and I'll get back to my story about Buddy Guy, but hold on for a second.
All right.
So it's me, and it's Brian Urlacher, and it's Paris, because he was dating Paris at the time. And we were all at Sugar one night where I was the GM, allegedly. And we squeezed into his agent's car, Bryce. And we squeezed into his car, and I say, where are we going? And she goes, let's go down to the Hilton. And I'm sitting next to Brian, and I go, hey, Paris, do you stay there for free? Do you get your rooms comped? And she F-bombs me and goes, F you, Brian. And I instantly elbow Urlacher in the ribs. I go, you're going to let her talk to you like that, dude? Right.
Nice,
so there was the joke. Right.
Yes,
right. Go for Bryce. Right. So that was fun.
Love it.
But Buddy Guy almost had the same kind of language for me because I parked in his spot. But I didn't believe him because he just came wandering up to me in the parking lot of Buddy Guy's Legends, allegedly. And he walks up and he goes, excuse me, young man. And I said, hi, how are you? He goes, you happen to be in my parking spot. And I said, me? I'm in your parking spot? He goes, yeah, that's right. I go, who are you? He goes, I'm Buddy Guy. And I go, yeah, bro, I got to run in the Hilton. I'll be in there 20 minutes. He goes, not my parking spot, you won't be. And I go, and I'm supposed to believe this is your parking spot. And he has a gold nugget ring. Okay. Remember those gold nugget rings? Remember those? Yeah. And it says, like, it's all nuggets. So it looks crazy. It looks like the Thing from the Fantastic Four. It's clobbering time. Right. So he's got a B and a G on the front of the ring. And he goes to me like this. And there I am reading it. Reading is fundamental. I'm a product of the Evanston educational system, as I told you guys earlier. Lincoln Elementary, I'm like, there's a B and a G.
Right.
So I guess that stands for Buddy Guy. Right. And, needless to say, I pulled out at the spot.
Nice.
Even if he hadn't shown me the ring, I decided it was a good time to leave. I didn't want my Chrysler Newport being towed.
No way.
One of the longest, biggest cars in the world, by the way. It's like driving a water boat.
I believe it.
Waterbed, I'm sorry. All boats are water boats.
We ended up at Buddy Guy's one night.
Ooh.
And we were hanging out with my one friend who has a couple cocktails and gets real friendly with everybody.
Maybe I'll have a little coffee.
get a little coffee in there. So it's the end of the night. Buddy Guy performs, and this guy just decides to hug Buddy Guy. So he's drunk, and he's the very, very
he's very huggable.
He's huggable. So he grabs Buddy Guy.
Is he kind of a bear? You're kind of indicating he seems to be a burly person.
He just grabs him and holds on to him.
And Buddy's like 80 years old.
Yeah, and wouldn't let him go.
And wouldn't let him go.
And was telling him how much he loved him.
He really loves Buddy.
To the point where the Buddy Guy security had to come. And literally one guy had to pull this arm off and one guy had to pull this arm off.
This is in Buddy Guy's Legends.
Now,
where were you this entire time for this event?
I was just watching.
You were over as the kids say. You were in the cut.
Yes,
you were over here.
I was watching from a distance
because it was time to distance yourself from your friend who decided to hug this Chicago legend / blues rock star.
Right, and I know because he's hugged me before and he wouldn't let go.
Buddy Guy's hugged you before and not let go. Oh, your friend,
my friend.
Your friend.
So
right.
I was just sat back.
Buddy Guy doesn't seem to be a big hugger. He wears a lot of polka dots.
Right.
And what if those polka dots start moving around?
Right.
Right, because of those hugs.
The hugs.
Right. The hugs. And, the balls could just start like a lottery machine. Oh, they just start moving and grooving. And next thing you know, you got Buddy Guy and you're cashing in on a great I don't know where I'm going with that.
That's all right. I was thinking like the music when you see the
notes.
The notes.
Every good boy does fine. Boom. Or face.
Yes.
Right? Remember that?
Yes,
we were taught that. And we, to this day, really, and I'm a professional musician, supposedly, and I don't know what that means. And you're probably like, how is this guy a professional musician? He's living in a movie theater, and then he's fixing jets. And well, I used to sing at this place called Jilly's, which Stan Wozniak was a partner at, and it was a great place, and it was the birthplace of my little tiny singing career. And obviously, it was a very tiny singing career because none of you guys know what I'm talking about. But it was tiny, but it was mighty.
Yeah, I never saw you there. I saw you at the Italian Village.
Italian Village, Monroe and Dearborn, one of the best Italian restaurants in the city, by the way. And I really feel that's the truth. I mean, great Italian food, for my opinion, starts in Chicago. You got Italian Village. You've got, now everybody's going to say Maggiano's, but most watch GC almost freaked out when I said that. He goes, "Hey man, dude, don't get suburban on me, bro. Maggiano's is for maybe wedding parties only. But they do have a hell of a rigatoni D. Maybe I should have said heck, but rigatoni D ain't bad.
All right.
I'll tell you what, check it out.
Right.
You have to be a mushroom person, by the way. Not all of us are mushroom people.
I am.
Yeah, we know you're a mushroom person, dude. Well, you're a gnome.
Right, I live under one.
Pardon me. I'm down here. Don't pick me. Yeah, right. Sure. Mushrooms are great. We're not going to get any further with that, but you know what I mean. Mushrooms are great on salad.
Yes.
Right. Sure.
In soup.
Or sure. Now, if you're a vegetarian, what's the mushroom?
Portobello. That's the one you cook up.
If you're a vegetarian, right?
Tastes like steak.
It tastes like steak.
Allegedly.
They tell you, hey, this portobello mushroom is if you want to get meat out of your life, if you want to get red meat out of your life, you start, especially, have you ever dated a vegan or been around vegans? Or they think they're vegans or vegetarians, and oh, what a difference. Don't make the mistake of calling a vegan a vegetarian or a vegetarian a vegan, because they'll straighten you out in a heartbeat. Yeah, sure. I'm a fruitarian. A who?
Just eating sugar all day. That's what you're doing.
Oh,
all fruit sugar.
Now, all fruit does have fructose in it.
Yeah.
Now, I never knew that as a child. I mean, your parents tell you that apples and oranges and watermelon, that's all good for you. But then some sneaky people, such as yourself, Murph, Dr. Murph, by the way.
Allegedly.
Doctor. So, doctor. So they'll tell you that fructose is just as bad as domino sugar for you. And now they'll tell you that what are the things that replace sugar? What's in a Diet Pepsi? What's it called?
Like Splenda.
All
those, yeah.
Stevia, right. So there's this stuff in Diet Pepsi that's supposedly worse for you than the almighty bad sugar. But it turns out that fructose in this peach, like I'm eating right now. Wait a minute. I'm not going to eat a peach. Put that down. Like this apple, kids never eat a peach. Eat this apple. Well, you'll get in trouble, and I'm trying to keep this a family show. Eat this apple, and there's as much sugar in there, fructose-wise.
Right.
as some horrible sugar infested fun, like maybe a Hostess fruit pie, allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly. I don't want Hostess crawling up on the Chicago Style podcast and saying, excuse us, we'd like to sponsor you, Hostess, and I will say Hostess 55 times a podcast if you want me to, but there is sugar in there.
Yes.
Right. And don't we like sugar? Sugar's fun. What's the problem? It puts holes in your teeth?
Yep.
Or it gives you
diabetes.
Is that Wilford Brimley?
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about something really important right now. Diabetes. Right. And he was in the movie Cocoon, and that's fun with the little aliens. I wonder if they had diabetes.
That was Steve Guttenberg.
Steve Guttenberg, Chicago actor.
Boom.
Oh my gosh,
See?
you tied it up because that's amazing, right?
Yep.
You know, and Steve Guttenberg, we mentioned John Cusack earlier, Joan Cusack, Jeremy Piven, who's currently on tour.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Won't return my Instagram messages. What? Will you?
All right.
Will you? But
we're calling you out.
Well,
Piven.
let's call out Jeremy, and I'll tell you why. Because there we were playing. Now, can I say, GC, can I say Smear the Queer? Is that all right? Maybe not. Yeah, this is so smear the individual.
How about get the guy with the ball?
Get the guy with the ball. So that's a better terminology than smear the queer. Because I think back in 5th grade, back in 1976, I could say smear the queer, but now it's just no.
That's what it used to be called, but now it's called something different.
Smear the guy who likes to collect stamps.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Smear. Right. You know. So anyway. We're playing rough and tumble football out in the middle of the field at Lincoln Elementary School in Evanston, allegedly, when if you catch the football during smear the guy with the ball, you do smear him.
Yes.
And I broke Jeremy Piven's collarbone in 5th grade by accident. I had somebody tell me online, oh, so you're a bully as well. I go, do I appear to be a bully? Right.
I was a little kid.
I was a tiny little child, and I lived in a movie theater, and I tackled my movie star. Well, not really. Well, he was in some movies, Jeremy. Yeah. But, he's kind of known for Entourage on HBO, right? Which has that cool sound. Boom. Right? And then they have the snow sound. I probably had a bad face for that. I can't make an angry face when I say HBO. No. But anyway, I broke Jeremy's collarbone in 5th grade by accident, allegedly. Or no, for sure. For sure. It was a mistake.
We're going to need Jeremy Piven to, collaborate the story. So Piven, let's...
Right. Jeremy, please, I know you're on tour somewhere on one of the coasts right now doing your wonderful comedy stand-up routine, which you're known for. Right. So, which he must have honed his skills at Piven Theater Workshop, like I said, up on Noyes Street in Evanston, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Noyes is
it still around?
Well, maybe not, unless Jeremy's keeping it rolling. But Noyes is spelled Noyes.
That's a fun way to spell noise.
That is a fun way to spell noise, especially if you change for the Ravenston, change for the Ravenswood, Skokie Swift, or Evanston Express, right? Because you'll end up in Evanston on the at Noyes Street. That is a CTA stop.
Okay.
Which is also Chicago Transit Authority. Yep. That's right.
CTA.
And the CTA does branch out into the burbs, even Oak Park, wonderful Oak Park, which is very similar to Evanston, by the way, because they have a tiny little Marshall Fields, which doesn't exist anymore, but they still have that odd little green clock that sticks out of the edge of the building.
Nice.
Where you can get Frango mints. No longer Frangos, though. If they are Frangos, they're made by Macy's, and we all know that. That's not the same.
Right. No.
Remember that old Pace Picante commercial? And they're like, "Is here Pace Picante? This is made in New York City." Right. Well, we all know Macy's is from New York City, and Macy's tried to replace and did replace Marshall Fields. And we've all been to Macy's. It's not the end of the world.
No.
It's not the end of the world, but it's not Marshall Fields.
No.
Where they do sell Frango mints, which are nice little chocolates, which are fun.
Delicious.
Which lead to what? Diabetes.
Sugar.
For sugar.
Sugar just trying
sugar,
to get in our body.
da. Oh, honey. Which is good. Honey. Wait a minute. We didn't even think about honey.
Nature's sugar.
Nature's sugar. So is it our fault that we like sugar if Mother Nature herself, the good Lord, is sending, right? The good Lord, there he is. He's up there looking down going, Jurgens again with the podcast.
Right. Yeah. There he goes.
Sir, we have the Brian Jurgens fella doing a podcast again. What'd I tell you about bothering me with that. Anyway, so the honey, comes from the hive.
Well, I believe it actually comes from the bee's mouth. It's like bee spit.
Oh,
yeah.
I think, buddy,
this even gets weirder.
I think Sue Bee Honey is sending representatives inbound from South Dakota as we speak.
But this is the best part about honey too. Is like these bees collect all this honey, and then we just come and we just steal their food.
We just steal
their sugar.
So we're stealing honey from the bees.
Oh yeah.
They
don't just make it for us.
They don't just it's not for us. It's for them. It's for them. So the bees. Don't bees sting? Is that why they sting? Because they don't want you to take their honey? Is that kind of the reason?
I don't think. Yeah, they're protective.
Yeah, they're protective.
They're protective.
This is ours, not yours. You can't take it. It's mine.
Yeah, it's our food.
I have a particular set of skills.
Stealing honey.
Liam Neeson bees. Right. But that's a topic for another day. And speaking of which, we are the Chicago Style Podcast. I have to look up to remind myself. Starring my good friend Murph Blue Eyes, and of course, I'm Brian Jurgens. We are on the Chicago Style Podcast. We want to say a hi and a shout out to good Becca Leninger. Becca, what's happening?
Miss you, Becca.
Oh, we miss you, Becca. And Becca played a little piano last week, and of course, we have the wonderful Giancarlo behind the scenes over there. He's doing the engineering today. And we would have talked more about Italian restaurants, Italian Village, Maggiano's, which he did giggle at, right? Because that's not quite an Italian restaurant. It's a chain restaurant, right?
It's the corner bakery now.
Corner bakery, right? Not to be mistaken with Panera Bread.
No,
and you can't do that. Panera's a little bit more. Yeah, you think? Mm-hmm. Corner bakery's vanishing to me, by the way. All great spots. But we covered the air show today.
Yes, we did.
A little bit. We covered the wonderful Air Force Thunderbirds, the Blue Angels. But I thought the Air Force Thunderbirds were really top notch.
Okay.
Top notch, crazy. I like a little craziness.
Right.
But if
you're extra thunder.
A little thunder, right. It's a little AC/DC, right? You know. But we'll cover all these topics and more every time, every week on the Chicago Style Podcast from wonderful CineCity here in Chicago, Illinois, with the great staff, great facilities. Check it out when you can, because apparently the doors are open all the time, and it just seems to be the way. The Chicago way.
The Chicago way.
The Chicago way. We'll see you next time, folks. We love you. Make sure you check out our podcasts on all your favorite platforms. And thank you so much, Governor. Don't go changing to try to please me, which is New York. I'd like to end this on some Blues Brothers, but I don't have any. See you next time, guys.
Next time.
Thank you.
Rawhide.
Ciao.